everybody, and a huge welcome to the latest episode of the Irish Wrestling Podcast, where, of course, if it's entertaining, enjoy it. So, your panel for today's episode, a two-part special. So, part one will be myself, sensational Queen Lizzie, a little bit nasally today, caught someone's head cold, but anyway. And himself, it's Booker G, 5 times. And we are joined today by, of course, wrestling royalty. What can we say? First and foremost, if it ain't happening in Irish wrestling and this man doesn't know about it, it ain't worth knowing about. Colin, tell us what's the crack.
What's the story, lads?
Oh, yeah.
Busy couple of weeks.
Right.
Poor Niall is only on the come down. Fun time bumping into Foxy on Sunday in Belfast and Monday in Wexford. The fella was like a zombie, so I can only imagine what it was like to work it, because I know that I had a severe hangover from going to the shows. So yeah. I really want to know how Foxy's feeling.
Man, like as I said before the recording, like my voice was gone for a full week. So Colin heard a little bit of it when it started, but like come the Tuesday, my voice was down here. Like I had to go to work like this, and I had to talk to customers and be like, like trying to actually talk to customers when you're just like.
Wait now, Foxy, were you just like, I'm trying out something new?
I'm trying to
like, you know, like when Joey got a new walk and friends.
I'm just doing it so they don't have to interact with people.
That's what it is. All the bit, you know. It's getting. We're glad that you're not too bait up, and that you know, we're so happy to have you with us. As are we happy to have our fabulous colleague from the Five Marks podcast, Martin. What's happening? Are you wrecked after all of the wrestling?
Oh my god! After one day in Dublin, oh god, I'm fucking just destroyed, destroyed. Like, oh god.
How are you coping?
That damn motorway.
I tell you now.
That drive back, that really, and the 4 p.m. start. God, way too late in the day for me. Fucking hell, God.
This is it. But look, we're so glad that you could make it. Oh my god.
I am doing lovely today. Happy to come on and I don't have to do double duty of running from here to another one like I did last time. Yeah. I can actually chill today.
Commitment. That's commitment.
I tell you, mate. Yeah, commitment to the
it.
cause.
Content.
Yeah, definitely. What it's about. But yeah, so happy to have everybody here and a chance to talk about the thing that we all commonly love and share. Our passion for Irish wrestling. And this part one of the two-part episode, absolutely all day long, is, I suppose, in a word, a celebration of a huge weekend in Irish wrestling, which of course encompassed the 9th anniversary of OTT. I mean, what a way to celebrate. It just gets better and better every year. There's no denying it. From stacked cards to fan enthusiasm in the weeks leading up to the build, to the promotion of what's going on. It just brings an extra layer to Irish wrestling that weekend every year. It really, really does. And you can tell that the superstars that are booked on the card are just as buzzing as us sitting in the audience. They really are. They really look forward to this weekend all year long. And it shows in their performance. It shows with their interaction. So it's something really exciting for fans, but you can tell as well that the talent in the ring are buzzing as well, which is really, really nice to see. And of course, we always have some special guests as well that come in for this very, very big weekend that we will talk about in detail. But it wasn't just one old show that OTT had for their 9th anniversary. They covered 4 locations. That's off the wall. That's just like, you know, when you won't give up the ghost when it's your birthday and you're like, it's still my birthday, you know, that's literally what OTT done. And they done it in style, from Wolves to Belfast to Dublin to Wexaco, aka Wexford. Unbelievable. And I cannot wait to get into the nitty gritty of this and see what you all thought about it. Colin, are you happy to take us through?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to jump on what you were saying there, Liz, it's massive weekend. And this this for me, and anyway, I'm not sure if anyone else can attest to it. This one felt like it was special, you know, like it felt like we were back to those big special stadium shows. Now, I don't want to take too much away from last year, but obviously a lot of shit went down last year, and we missed a couple of big names coming over, and it was very much an Irish show, and fair play to the lads. They smashed it last year. But you were missing those big names. And then obviously the year before we were only coming out of COVID. I think that was the 7th anniversary. We were in the KFRC, if I'm not mistaken, weren't we, for that one? So again, it didn't have that massive big feel to it, like where this one felt like it was back to the way it was pre-COVID. We had those stacked names. There was big matches on the card, you know. So, but yeah, like obviously, I myself, probably to my own detriment, travelled to the 3 countries, to the 4 different shows. Again, I wasn't working them, thankfully. Foxy, fair play to you, and all the guys for putting in the grind, because like I saw a few of the guys and they looked like their souls have left their bodies by the time we hit Belfast and Wexford, you know. But kicked off in Wolverhampton, and that venue is special. It's so special. Like the vibe that was there, the place was packed as well, you know. So I know that we said that we kind of touch on the people rather than the shows, but I think that there's no better way to kick off with the headliner, Mr. John Moxley, who we waited 3.5 years to get over. More was it more? Yeah, no, about 3.5 years. That fella put in a shift. Like I can't think back to anyone else who put in 2 fantastic matches and went all out, pardon the pun, like as much as he did. Like he killed himself in the ring, and his opponents, you know.
He always does though, doesn't he?
Yeah, like,
very
and that's
rare that he has just a standard, bog standard match.
Yeah,
it's a straight squash match and pinfall, and that's it. Like it's.
But I just kind of look back, and someone actually reminded me there of RVD when he came over, and it was great to see RVD, great pop. But there was a lot of people disappointed with the match that he had and how much he actually put into the match, where it was night and day to Moxley. He fucking killed himself. Like, he was everywhere, and they weren't short matches either, you know. He could have come over, phoned it in, being the star that he is, got the pop and the payday and went home, you know. He didn't. He came over and gave it his all, and props to the man for doing it. He left us waiting for 3.5 years for it. Again, not his fault, but it was well worth the wait for me. And anyway, but I'd love to hear what others think.
Well, you were there in Wolverhampton. Like, what was the match with Trent like? First
Chaos,
and for being live in attendance, like not.
Yeah, like it was probably it's up there with one of the best live matches I saw. To be honest, I'm not a big kind of death match fan. I like an old stipulation. I like a bit of hardcore every now and again. But when it comes to like the extremes of death matches, I'm not the biggest fan of those. But I think that the guys did it so well. It was they didn't just go out there and kill each other. They were telling a story in the process as well. And it felt big, it felt special. It was the main event on the night, you know. And you could see the effort that they put in. And I've been highly critical of Trent. Highly critical of the matches that he's had maybe last year, and he's definitely upped his game a bit more, and I think he's kind of put his foot in the accelerator a bit more, and he's having these better matches, and that's what he did in Wolverhampton. He went out there and he killed himself, basically, you know. But it was gruesome, it was brilliant, it was like stand on your feet. I didn't want to sit down. Like, you stand up for certain moments and you're like, oh, what are we sitting down again for? This is so special. I want to stay, you know, that kind of feeling. Like, you don't get that too often. And yeah, it was exceptional, absolutely exceptional. I know, Foxy, you didn't do that match, didn't you? Know?
Oh.
I think that was our friend Tom.
Yeah, thankfully, like, so I knew I was going to get Mox in Dublin. There was no ifs, ands, or buts, and I was going to get Kenta. So Tom asked if he could have Mox, and I gave him Kenta as well, just because feck it, why not?
Oh, yeah.
Plus, to be honest, like I wanted to see what I was getting myself into as well. I thought I was gonna have an easier night with Be Cool and Mox. Why was I mistaken? And yeah,
Did Tom take any bumps in that match? He didn't, did he?
no.
No, he did a bit of damage to his hands, I'd say, though, because there was
Yes.
probably 2,000 tacks in the ring, and
His
I
hands,
remember
his
watching.
knees.
I remember watching Tom a couple of occasions when he was counting, and straight away he was going, "Back my fucking hands!"
Yeah.
So I did. I felt a bit bad for Tom having to count on the tacks. There was one stage actually it popped me. He was, I don't know why, but he was trying to kick some of the tacks out of the ring, and
Yep.
I was just like, Tom, what are you even doing, man? There's like 2,000 of them in the ring. You would have been lucky if he kicked about 20 of them out, to be honest. Like, he wasn't doing any, he wasn't even putting a dent in them. Like, and then he just gave up. But yeah, that was a bit of a pop in the moment for me. Like,
Trying to clear a little gap just so that he can actually count the
Yeah.
fall. I seen him do it. Like I was watching upstairs, so I could see everything. I to be honest, it was nice to actually just be to watch wrestling again.
Yeah.
Because I don't get to do it very often, but to actually stop and watch a match is great. They told a story. It wasn't just for the sake of it. I'm not the biggest fan of like deathmatch wrestling. I've made that very clear on my streams and anyone that will listen because I think it's silly. But yeah, I do understand. I have a bit of an appreciation for it in terms of when it's done right.
Mhm.
Like when there's actually a reason for it, it can be done right. But yeah, like, and it was just mad to be upstairs watching the match. It's myself, Lycos, and fucking Kenta just at one point, just like watching the match. Like it's just like it was just what the hell is life? Kenta is just standing there beside us, like just like watching the match. Yeah. That looks sore.
surreal. Absolutely surreal.
What was it like then the next day? You know, come watching him actually being in a ring with him, actually reffing one of his matches when there actually is blood involved.
So watching the match, it's obviously like you can. It is what it is. Like it is violence, but there is a method to the madness. With Be Cool, it was obviously there was a big story around it. But to be honest, like it's still very, very scary. Like that match like got very very bloody, very quick.
Yeah.
And when you're in that position, it like at any moment, I need to be ready to just stop this.
Yeah.
Like regardless whether whether there was other plans or not. Like people's safety are my biggest concern. And to be honest, like B was bleeding a lot. And like just constantly I'm constantly like just talking. It's like, how you feeling? How you feeling? You okay? Talk to me. Just talk to me. Because like once I know that he's like coherent and actually talking, then we're good. But with the amount he had the proverbial like crimson mask because he was just covered. But again, you have to check because if a lot of blood leaves your body that quick, you don't want to run. You don't want to pull Guerrero, like Guerrero JBL, because that shit's scary.
Yeah.
Where tell me, at one point Moxley pushed you up into the corner.
Yeah.
Got in your shit.
Yeah.
Always saying that we were like, oh, here we fucking go. Just when we thought he was safe.
How does that compare to the
fucking bump? Can't believe it. And this man just going to do a fucking super kick. Moxie's going to split him. We're like, oh no, fuck it, Niall.
How does that compare
fine
to other people that did it though, Foxy? Like I know you said that some people are really intimidating when they do it, and like in that moment, like it can be a bit like, is Moxie up there with the Suzuki's? No.
No, not even the slightest. It to me, it was more just annoying. because that was uncalled for. Like I don't agree with that. Like right, I'm there to get you heat or to get you whatever you need. Like I'm there to help, but like you have someone else's blood on your hands and you're trying to rub pie face someone else. Like there's a lot of chance of like stuff going wrong there. You may have no disregard for your body, but like other people do. So I to be honest, I wasn't happy about that one. So
that's fair. Again, heat of the moment, stuff can happen like that. But yeah, I completely understand. Martin, you were there getting to see this match. How was it from your view?
So I will say the match it did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I honest to God went in going, Barry's dead. There's no way Barry like survives this, gets through this, gets even moving. And do you know what? Barry put up a fight. He did. He absolutely put up a fight. I'm surprised that only Barry got a haircut that day and Foxy didn't have to, get the old top chopped off or something like that. But oh my God, so cool to see Moxley. Like so cool. Like obviously Be Cool coming out on the moped and stuff. By the way, I was not expecting that. When he was like, "Oh yeah, I have a motorbike," I was like, they come up now with like a bike with like a spotlight or something on it. Out he comes in a moped. I was like,
I actually thought he was going to go all out Harley, and then when he comes out on the little Vespa, like
you could smell it burning. You could smell the petrol burning when he
started.
From where we were sitting there, I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" I was going to come out in a tractor lawnmower or something.
But I think everyone was hyped up with Barry coming out. But like while things started playing, everyone was just like, "Oh, here we go! This is what we've waited for." Out comes Moxley, and you're just like, "Thank God it's finally happened." It was crazy. It was such a crazy, just unpredictable match. I fair play one to Barry for going through, but for Foxy for pretty much putting up with John Moxley, because like when that man has scissors, thumbtacks, and whatever else he brought in, I'm there. Yeah, lads, have fun. I'm out.
Believe me, that's why if you look at the footage, I'm a distance away, and that's not just because I can't get there. I just don't want to, because like fuck that, he's gonna turn around and fucking stab me. Like nope.
So is that hard to be a pro wrestler now after that documentary? Would be cool. Like that's how you.
Oh my God! You have to talk about it, because I tell you this, leading up to that match, I tell you now, when you're sat there and you watch and it's over, and you go, "What the fuck did I just watch?" Because you just don't know what happened when you see it. And I tell you this much. I'm sure you all have your own things that you took away from this documentary to move forward with and digest as you so please. I have two, right? Joe's 33. Yeah, so am I. And
he was, was he 33 when OTT first started?
Yes. 33 plus tax.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now. And anything in that documentary that was said after that line was not heard. Nobody was, because I heard the whole country howling, right? Not a word was heard that next line. The second thing I took away from it was the most beautiful duet I think I've ever heard in my life. It's probably the best version of More Than Words I have ever had the joy of listening to. And guys, if you're listening, I have two more requests, okay, of duets that I think would be really, really good. The first one is Would I Lie to You by Charles and Eddie. I think that would be really, really good, yeah. And the other one is To Be With You by Mr. Big. I think that would also be a lovely one for both of you to duet. So if you could arrange that, I would be absolutely I'll buy that, mate. If you're selling it, I will buy that. On a little CD to put in my CD player, because I'm not 33. So but yeah, that would be very, very nice. So that's what I took away from that documentary. And yeah.
Well, let's talk about Jay's weekend, because Jay had a great weekend as well.
Oh man, so happy for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, massive for Jay, wasn't it? Like it's one of these that like I'm surprised it actually took not that it took so long, but like he's been there, but to get the matches that he got and to get that one-on-one with Kenta, is like that's testament to how hard he's worked. And to be honest, I think it probably should have come sooner. He should have been given the ball a bit sooner. That's just my personal opinion, to have those types of matches. Obviously, it's hard when you have the likes of LJ clearly there. You have Sammy, Amari, the talent that's there as well, And we spoke about this on the preview show, that there's so many people now that you can give these matches to, where before it used to be only the one or two, mainly Jordan was the import killer. Where now there's so many, but it's so good to see Jay having these types of matches, and what a match that he had with Kenta was the standout match for me for Jay. And then obviously he's not just doing his matches, he's involved in other matches that are involved in the draw and other spots on the show. So he's far and away the workhorse, in my opinion. Now that Lee has kind of moved to Japan, LJ has moved to Japan, that gap of that workhorse is there, and I firmly believe Jay can just slot right into that one, So, but yeah, so happy for Jay. Had a smashing weekend, and onwards and upwards for him.
Yeah, I thought the match with Kenta was, besides the buzz around Moxley and Be Cool, brilliant. I thought the Jay and Kenta match was the match of the show in Dublin. Anyway, for me, I loved every bit of it.
Yeah, it's a different match as well, wasn't it? I'm not sure. Have you watched Wolverhampton yet?
No.
And Belfast. So like that was the thing with Kenta. Kenta seemed to have like 3 very different matches across the 3 different days. He didn't just have the one match 3 times,
Yeah.
And that match, the match that he had with Luke Jacobs on the Friday was more of a Japanese style, really hard hitting, strong style type. Really like hard hitting wrestling match. Then the match that he had with Jay was a bit more technical, had a bit more high flying in it. And then obviously he has the tag match then in Belfast. So the match that he had with Jay, for me, was probably my favorite match, because that's the type of wrestling that I prefer. He had a banger with Luke Jacobs as well. And I appreciated what they did in the ring, and I appreciate that matches. But for me, if I was to be given like 5 of the matches that he had with Jay versus 5 of the matches that he had with Luke Jacobs, I'd get very bored of the matches that he had with Luke Jacobs a bit quicker. You get me?
Yeah.
And the ones that he had with Jay, a bit more story driven, to keep you in the action a bit more. But absolutely smashed that. And again, great to see fucking Kenta over. What a get, like.
Massive. Martin,
for me, like, this was the match I wanted the most. Like, from the moment it was like Mox was off the table and Kenta was announced, I was like, right, this is one person's chance to rightly step up. And I pushed. By the way, I'm okay to curse. I keep cursing. I just like, oh, perfect. Thank God.
Fucking kids.
I was like, shit. I should probably ask. I wanted this so badly. I pushed it so much on the socials that he needed Kenta, because we all knew LJ was heading off. I think it was gone at that point. And I am such a Jay fan. And by the way, Jay, pick a name. Daddy Cross Jay. I can't keep this.
Jay. It's always Jay. It's always J, and it's not J-A-Y. It's just the letter J, and it has to be lowercase. It can't be uppercase. So lowercase J, single letter. That's just how it is.
It's even more to it now. But I wanted that match, and when it got announced, I was just over the moon, because I knew this was his chance to step up. And I, honest to God, felt like he did. He stepped up massively and proved that he can, when the time is right, be in that main event scene, be in that top scene of Irish wrestling. And I had a few takeaways from the match. First off, Jay, fuck you. I thought Finn was actually coming out, you bastard.
Once I saw the paint, I was like,
because it's on the camera as well. I was there, no, you bastard. And like, just the 2 lads just absolutely beat the shit out of each other. Kenta, obviously, it's the first time I ever got to see him live. He is a different human. Like, oh my God, he's so stiff. So hopefully, Jay's recovering and stuff like that. I loved the different tributes he did within the entrance, within the paint on the back, and all the posing and stuff. Loved it. So, honest to God, was probably close to being my match of the year, even.
Ooh, there's an afternoon.
Yeah.
No.
Just to throw something else in there, he took the best GTS of all the GTSs of the weekend. I put up a video. That's just my opinion. It's like he froze. It's like when it connected, he's gone from the
Yeah.
game, stiff, drops to the deck. That to me, that's how the move should look, and I think it just looked brilliant. Obviously, we did have Jay Money getting one in Belfast, and then the aftermath of the Jay Money one was better because he was dead in the ring for 15 minutes through the whole interval.
Brilliant. He's
But
so
the
fucking brilliant.
the actual move itself, I think Jay's was the
Mm.
best looking out of the four that Kenta did. And four obviously did one in each match, and then he gave Jay Money one after the match. And
Did somebody actually rob Jay Money's loafers?
yes, but I'm not privy to say who that was.
Are you privy to reveal the size of said loafer?
Oh, they were very small. I'd say like a 3.
Fuck's sake. Has he got 2 pairs and a half I can stitch together now?
They were shiny leopard print.
Yeah.
I know they are just
They were horrific. They deserve to be stolen and burnt and probably thrown away somewhere. The fucking state of them, like.
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh yes, I
I'm
did.
sorry now, right? Just back it up and park that a mile up the freaking road now, right? Leopard print is timeless. It is always in style, never goes out of style. Hashtag Tay reference. Never goes out of style. It is timeless. It can be pieced with anything, no matter what color you're wearing. In particular, a loafer. Okay, so let's just take that back. Whoever took them, return them. J Money is lost without them.
Speaking of timeless, we didn't get timeless Debbie Keitel against Martina, did we?
Very unfortunate situation. I know Foxy was probably closer to the action. I'm not sure if he wants to say what happened there in Wolves.
I don't know if I should, but like literally in the last like four or 5 minutes before they were supposed to go out. Now Martina's in the back and she's warming up, she's doing her stretches, and then suddenly like she drops to the ground. Like just whatever happened, like it was I don't know if it was a really nasty like cramp, like seize up, or if it was something else, like, or it was sprain. I don't know, but like it was really bad. Like she couldn't even walk on it. We had a medic look at her, like, and basically saying that, like, look, if you go out there, you're gonna do worse damage to it. Now the problem is that normally, like, if an injury happens like midway through the match, like you have that adrenaline to get you through and you can kind of recover better. But this happened before the match where there's no adrenaline whatsoever. So therefore, like, you're fucked, really, because there's no way that is stopping in 5 minutes and then being able to go out there and do a proper match.
Yeah.
Just not happening. But I mean, like, again, it obviously plans had to change, and everyone looked after. Like, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, and she was absolutely gutted.
Yeah.
Like, but again, her safety is the biggest concern. So trying to look after her and make sure, like, nothing like makes this worse than it already is.
Yeah.
It is. We thought, oh, okay, we've got through it. We got through the match in Wolverhampton. Hopefully, like, a bit of rest. Hopefully by tomorrow she'll start feeling good. But no, it didn't change. In fact, it got worse. So you couldn't risk.
No.
Yeah.
Doing it.
It's probably the worst type of match as well. Like, if it was maybe a different type of match, you could maybe do something in it or maybe work something. But I think the couple of things, one, the match type and the stipulation as well, because it was a career versus title match, wasn't it? Like, so
I don't know.
I think they did say something in the run up that it was her.
I think
career or something.
Martina had put up tweets saying if she didn't win, that she was never going to walk back into OTT.
Yeah. So like you have that stipulation. It's a ladder match where you have to climb a ladder with a dodgy leg. That's yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, you can tell a story with that, like that perseverance. But at the same time, it's different when you're both healthy and then you're portraying this story. But when it's a real injury, it's very, very difficult to play up to that and still be safe.
Yeah,
like
there's a massive
in a
safety
normal
concern,
match. Like, but you're expected to do it in a ladder match, which is like, no, too many things can go wrong. I mean, like, it's bad enough you like, yes, if you want to risk your health, it's not a good idea, but it's someone else's health as well.
Yeah.
So it's better to just we'll pull the plug on it. We'll run it back at a different point.
Yeah, it's hard for all parties involved because obviously it's a stadium match. You know,
Yes.
it's the one that everyone's looking forward to, that twice a year when you're in the stadium, and everyone's looking forward to it. And to have that taken away, especially at such short notice, my heart goes out to Martina, Debbie, and Anita, who was all involved in that match. Obviously Martina and Debbie have done it before. It was meant to be Anita's first proper appearance in the stadium, and that was taken away as well. So I felt really, really bad for her having that moment taken away. But again, it will come back around. You know, it's not like it's not going to go anywhere. But just like, that moment.
Are you softening on Anita, Colin?
No, but I think that the human aspect obviously is like you see that moment being there and being taken from anybody, like them or hate them, like, you know, it's not a nice thing to happen for anybody.
Especially people that have worked hard and definitely like deserve that shot, and just not being able to really like get that moment that they want. I mean, I know where they are because like I was in that boat last year. Like I was hurt and didn't know if the match was going to go ahead, and we just happened to pull through. But unfortunately, people weren't lucky this year, which is a shame.
That moment that we got with obviously Debbie comes out on the mic, calls out Martina, Martina comes out. Everything that she said on that mic, I fucking hit me right here. Like, it really did. Like, I was nearly welling up there watching her, and you can see it in her face how much it hit her, like, and what was being taken away, and how upset and probably annoyed and frustrated and 100 other emotions that she was feeling at that time, you know. And it was real, you know, it was real. And what she was saying on the mic, that she does it for everybody here, and she's not going to do it if she's not 100%, you know. And you can't help but feel that bit of sadness that she was feeling, and to empathize with that. But listen, they'll run it back. Shit situation, but again, these are the situations that make people stronger. So hopefully this is one of those situations that they're going to look back on and say, "I remember last year. Do you remember where we were last year and we're in the shit, and now look at where we are this year." And hopefully, like, come Scrapper Mania or 10th anniversary, they're all going to get that moments again, you know.
Yeah, it'll come soon enough anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of soon enough, we got the return of JYV.
Boo!
The boo out of for Dublin. What were they like?
Oh my god!
How badly were they booed in Wolverhampton, or were they booed in Wolverhampton?
There was a little few boos. There was a few cheers. They weren't too vocal. I'd say the Dublin crowd was much louder.
Yeah,
gave them much more shit. You know, where there was a little bit, and then it kind of died out, and then like they let him speak. You know, and like me and the lads that I was there with, we're trying our best to boo him, but like, unless you have the other 900 and odd people in the building helping you out, like, you know, it's not going to carry, and it's not going to get you far, you know. So it kind of died out fairly swiftly, and they were able to do their promos and stuff, which I was a bit pissed off about because I wanted to boo the fuck out of them, you know. But again, we got that in Dublin. But yeah, fuck those guys. Fuck their queen or their king or whoever else they fucking sang to.
It was so uncomfortable,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say that on this?
Hey, whatever you want.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys.
I was more disappointed at the fans in Dublin. Not one shoe was taken off for Gibson. Not one shoe. Let me down.
You never know. You can't see everyone in
Did
that
you
crowd.
take your shoes off?
There was definitely
No,
some
they were
loop. There was
turning
definitely
with-
some looper up the back with his shoes off.
Oh,
Definitely.
definitely.
Oh, there was someone in the queue going in with their fucking shoes off. Sweet Jesus. Anyway, that were tough going.
Did he lose his voice in Wolverhampton, or did he lose that earlier?
Yeah.
He did he?
And it was hilarious because by the time Dublin came around, he was like proper gone as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like a young fella going through puberty.
Yeah, it's hard enough to talk over 2,000 people when they're booing you, but when you have a fucking bad voice and you're
Yeah.
trying to get louder and you're fucking just got worse and worse.
Ah, it's a nightmare.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, good to see the guys back though. Be interesting to see what happens with them. Always a good point on a show to get your regressions out on a team as a fan. So from my point, it's pretty good to have them back.
Touch and go for a while, wasn't it? There with Charlie Sterling.
Yeah, like that. Yeah,
That's
really
storytelling.
Really enjoyed that
Unbelievable.
match. Really enjoyed that match.
Yeah.
I'm not like, listen, I know we spoke about it on the preview show. I'm a little bit annoyed that we didn't get the singles match in the stadium.
You're the only other person I've heard say that. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. It was a great match and a great thing, but like I really wanted that world title match.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, they had a cracker in Belfast, and if they had have had that match that happened in Belfast in the stadium, nothing against the Belfast crowd, they were great. Actually, the Belfast crowd on that Sunday was probably the best that I've probably seen them. But I just want to think about what it would have been like in front of 2,000 people,
Mm.
and how much more raucous it would have been, and there was just a couple of little moments that I was like, oh my God, this would have been exceptional. The place would have been on fire and electric, and yeah, I'm just a little bit disappointed that we didn't get it in the stadium, because I think of a Scrapper show, and I think of a Wolverhampton, not Wolverhampton show, a Scrapper show and an anniversary show, and I think of a big World Championship match. That's the first thing that comes to my head, and the fact that we didn't get it, which I think has only happened once before, if I'm not mistaken, that wasn't a World Championship match in a stadium show, but
It was a 6-man tag.
yeah.
That was when we had Kenny in the books.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
What was it like in Belfast whenever Be Cool ended up in the draw? Whenever there was a complete face turn for the faction, or are they completely all face?
It really seemed that way. There was a bit of touch and go moments. But it seems that they're all a fully face faction. How long that will last now?
Even Max.
TVD. Baldy sexy flexy. Great to see him back.
You got some tan, anyway.
She's been in Marbella for about 4 months, wouldn't you? Living the life.
you'd hope he'd have some tan fucking living in Marbella.
He definitely stood out in Belfast anyway with that colour.
Yeah.
I'll fade away fairly quickly though. Here in the cold. But yeah, great to see him back. Very, very intriguing now what we're gonna get. It's like a lot of I know we usually say that like things don't usually end at stadium shows, that they usually continue through, but there seem to be a lot of endings here. So it'd be interesting what the next phase is, because there's nothing kind of there for a couple. Like, so we have like the Jay situation. Where does he go from here? He's tag team championships. We don't know what's going on there. The Sammy Charlie situation is sorted. We don't have a challenger for the OTT championship. Max said is back. We don't really know what's kind of going on with the group that has been the steering wheel, should I say, for OTT, and there was always kind of something set up for the next show. I think that we don't have anything at the moment, so it's like it's stop and then we're gonna go again. So
was there any mention of Corvin in Belfast? He attacked Sammy at the end of.
But he came out and cleared the ring. So Foxy, some hashtag Foxy spots. Foxy got fucking destroyed twice.
Oh no.
You didn't take any bumps in Dublin, did you?
Nope.
Yeah.
It was all saved for Belfast.
Foxy spot.
We'll have to start a bump
Yeah, we're
meter.
going to do a bumpo meter in the corner. Foxy's bumpo meter.
Foxy was like, I'm not bumping for these fucking jabronis in Dublin. Like, keep it for the Belfast show.
I'd gladly bump in Dublin. I don't mind that, especially on the stadium. Jesus, especially if it makes sense.
You got away with one, and like
there was a box of skewers underneath the ring that weren't used. You could have ended up with them in your head.
Yeah, I'm glad they weren't used.
Foxy kebab.
He picked up a bucket of thumbtacks instead. There was two of them sitting. We were looking at it. We could see them. They're sitting beside each other. I was like, oh,
there was a lot of things that were there that didn't get used, and we were just like, thank Christ, because that would have been very messy.
Definitely.
Yeah, there was a lot of other things we used that weekend, and Deep Heat was one of them.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Where I'm not even lying now, right? And it was just hilarious because as each competitor came out, it got stronger in one particular match.
I was high as a kite with people.
Yeah, my eyes were watering because it was that strong. It was like after, you go outside when it's freezing cold and snowing and you have like a Fox's glacier mint in your mouth. It was that eye watering. And I was like, look at my eyes.
That was the triple threat.
Yeah. Man, you were on the other side of the ring to us.
Yeah.
And you were a few rows back. Could you get it back there?
No, I was like, God, I didn't get any of this smell. Like, what the hell was you guys having a fun out time?
You're lucky.
Oh man.
The triple threat. So Carvin was first, Demo, and then Trent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Carvin came out,
first we were
like, knew Carvin was going to have it. He always has it on.
Always has it, yeah.
And then Demo's music, I was like, and I looked at Liz, I was like, he's definitely going to help someone too, and he can pass it. I was like, fucking hell.
And then Trent,
so I was like, oh, maybe he'll be okay.
He nearly died.
Trent,
I was crying. I remember I was like, my eyes are killing me. Oh my God.
I can't imagine what it was like. Were you in the middle of the ring, Foxy, in between the three of them?
Stinking.
Yep. Oh. Although I'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the impromptu moment that happened during that match.
What, where Trent whipped the bandage off and split himself open again?
No.
Okay.
Not where I got squashed, no.
I actually wanted to ask you.
Oh, sorry, the lights went out. Sorry, the lights went out.
Yes.
Sorry, I
wanted to ask you, what was that like for you being in the ring and the lights, just hear the pop and lights?
Can I answer that? God. Foxy shit himself.
Why did I shit myself?
What the pop was.
Why did I shit myself for that?
Just if I was in that ring, and fair play if you didn't. If I was in that ring and the lights went out, I would have been like, oh bollocks.
Bong! I was so disappointed. Imagine
that would have been the perfect moment for Valor, wouldn't it?
Oh man, stop! Oh my God!
Yeah.
I think a lot of people actually thought somebody was coming out, and then it's like lights back on. Oh shit! It was just the power. Damn.
Yeah, there was you could hear it. Something went, and then the lights went. So as soon as I heard that, whatever it was, that mechanical failure noise, you were like, "Oh bollocks!"
Yeah.
Well, fair play to the lads in the ring. Fair play to yourself, Foxy, for carrying on as well. And
yeah,
I think Trent was on his feet, wasn't he, when it was happening, and he kind of gave it its moment.
Yeah.
Which is great. That I don't know how many other people would have done that. Trent kind of took in the moment for what it was, and didn't try to carry on. Just kind of let it sit for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of got back into it, and like that again, that's going to be a moment that it's always going to be looked back on. You're going to see the fireflies in the stand and people singing, very special moment.
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah,
I can only imagine what Joe was like at first, fuck, gets the special Bray Wyatt moment. All right, that's grand. Get them lights back on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
His jaw was red as a beetroot. I'd say his head had grown twice its size, and he was just shouting expletives at people.
He can take that stress. He's only 33.
2 days in a row though, and both in a demo match. Because the day before, did I tell you about this?
Yeah,
Foxy was there.
Yeah.
Like
to watch this.
during the demo, who was it?
Gary
Demo
Sterling.
and Sterling, match. There was a noise down kind of like to the right of the stage if you're looking at the stage. And there was just this noise that sounded like an electrical fire.
It was almost like fireworks were
Something popping, yeah.
It was like,
But it was very electrical, and I was like, "Oh shit, something is on fire down there." And obviously, they had the smoke machines for the entrances, which they had used a little bit earlier, so you can see smoke coming up. That we found out later was off the smoke machines, but we thought it was a fire, and then we just see people running away from that direction, and we're like, bollocks! Here we go. Here's the evacuation. Like, but. Yeah, thankfully everything was good. Everything was all right. Foxy, were you in for that match?
I wasn't reffing. No, I was in the back. So like, I was in the same boat where I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, because we could hear it, and we're just like, "Okay, we can't see anything, but people are moving from the stage, so something's happening over there." I'm not going close to that. Fuck that. I don't want to die. So, like, we're just waiting. Then suddenly we see the lads like brawl all the way to the back. So I'm thinking like, okay, so the match has been thrown out, like just in case. So I said, fuck it, we're gonna continue. I run out, I get out ringside, and I'm getting ready to jump in the ring. Then suddenly it's like, oh wait, the lads are brawling back to the ring. So I'm like, shit, I'll get back out here. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
But the noise and stuff is still going, and they're still having the match. A lot of people actually missed the end of the match. Like a couple of people even said to me, like the match finished, and a couple of people said, like, what happened? What happened? Who won? Like, you know. Charlie popped me fucking massive though. So obviously the match finished. Charlie won. The sound then stopped. Literally, the match was finished 20 seconds, and then whatever was happening with that speaker finished happening, and everything was back to normal. 20 seconds too late. And the lads, they came back down. Damo fucking battered Charlie in the ring, and did he do something with Sam, I think? And then they were on the way to the back, and Charlie and Sam had left, and then Charlie runs back out and goes over to the speaker and starts laying into the speaker as if he was hitting it, like, fuck you, speaker. Like, that was that. I don't even know. I haven't looked back, but I don't know if that moment is on the VOD. I really hope it is, because it was just one of those comical Charlie Sterling moments that, like, he just does so often, that he's just a genius when it comes to stuff like that. Like,
yeah, class. One moment that is on the VOD that happened in Wolverhampton was her old sorry, Scotty Davis, if you didn't want everybody to see what happened, but took a bit of a dive on his way out.
But he gets giving people shit.
That's karma.
Shit.
That's
Martin, did you see this?
I didn't see this.
Oh Jesus!
So Scotty Davis was giving people shit on his way to the back. A lot of shit, a lot of abuse to the fans, and turned around to go down the steps, because the entranceway comes up a couple of steps. I'm not sure. Foxy has 2 or 3 steps coming up from the entrance.
There's at least 4 steps before, like.
So Scotty turns around to go down the steps. All you can see is him take 1 step, and then he's just gone. But all you can hear is this. Now I am on the opposite side of the ring and the length of the walkway, and I could hear the thud. Jeez. And I was like, oh, he's after breaking himself up. He is after breaking himself up. And we were in hysterics. The whole place was in hysterics.
Don't imagine how Scotty was afterwards, probably cursing the whole place out of it.
Oh my God. I would have died, lads. I have no filter when it comes to stuff like that. I just laugh, and that's, if I was there, you would have heard me like back here an awful way. By Jesus Christ. I howled when I saw it on the video. I was like, oh no, but I kind of cringed as well, because you could feel that you're like, I am just dying inside for him.
He didn't have a bad weekend, in fairness. Like the tag match in the stadium was brilliant. I thought for a 4-way tag match for a singles title for the
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't for the OTT tag team titles. At the start I was like, why isn't it for the OTT tag team titles? But then I realized that Jay was still
Two of the lads are preoccupied.
The entrance for that, the double entrance for
Sebzo.
Them, fantastic.
Brilliant.
Like, music went so well. They looked so well together in the new gear. I just loved hearing like the story, and it's just like they both came up with that separately.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that they matched. Like they didn't talk about this beforehand, like together. They just went off and just thought of ideas for like stadium, and it just so happened that like their stuff matched. It's crazy how like the planets align in that regard.
Unreal.
Wow.
Absolutely delighted for Sam.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Sam and Renzo, by the way, for shooting me with confetti, because when they were pointing, literally bang right in the chest, caught all the confetti.
No.
I was like, cheers to that, lads.
Right.
But
Thanks, buddy.
I was so delighted with the result, and like I'm surprised my voice didn't go, because to see Boots Murphy and Keenan Noonan and all of them just get their moments and stuff is just, it's so nice to see. So nice to see.
Yeah, massive. Like we again, I always harp on about this. It's about the moments, not necessarily the matches. Although we do remember some of the matches, but we always remember the moments. And that moment when Renzo takes the belt and puts it around Sam's waist and was like, this is your moment. Like this one's for you. Like, that's like a little tear crept into my eye there. Like, that was special.
Yeah,
very, very special.
When he just went, did the Dudley's thing with "What's in the bag?" That was hooked. I was like, "Fuck, he's gonna turn. He's gonna fucking help him." And I thought he was gonna grab the title off and push it away. Like, but when he didn't, I was like, this is brilliant. Like,
it's adorable.
Yeah, it's one of them. Like Renzo had his moment last year, with Mr. Fox. But and it's good to see that. Like, again, shout out to Renzo. He's had a phenomenal couple of years in this country, and definitely making his way up. Obviously, we have some stuff from Milan that we'll cover later, on how he's getting on now. But like the fella's a fucking superstar. He's an absolute superstar, and it's not just the stuff that it's in the ring. It's the stuff outside the ring. It's a social media game. It's how he presents himself, and it's these little moments that the self-awareness to kind of be like, I had mine last year, this one's yours kind of thing, and to kind of give that to Sam and be like, yeah, you take this one, and it's that maturity level as well. It's ridiculous. Like, he's a future OTT champ. It fucking world's his oyster. He could be anywhere. But great things coming for Renzo.
Yeah, can't wait to see him in 12 months.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. As you said, the maturity, the rate at how he's maturing professionally is unbelievable. It's crazy. If you're going back 12 months, you'd still look at him as like a rookie. You would, but like
don't call him rookie.
It's grand. He's over that now. He's very, very mature now. But like when you think of the 12 months he's had, it's just like, what a corner to turn. Unbelievable. So excited for his journey.
The other teams that were in that match, Los Mapadores.
Yeah. How long was their working visa going to be here for?
I don't know. They've changed their names now. They've lost their masks.
They have. And shock horror, it was Fabio and Martin Stairs. How the fuck did we not know that?
The two teams were the same match. Like, they were the same match. Like,
how were they in the same match like that?
The math doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up.
Don't know. Don't know
No,
how.
They've
there's
upset me.
there's no one out there can tell me that they knew that it was fucking Fabio Martin. No one. I'd fucking
No.
call you a liar.
No way.
No.
No way.
I tell you, right up there.
They were-
It was me all along.
They
It
were
was
in,
right up
they
there.
were in Spain a few weeks ago. Lost them up a door. It's like, speaking the lingo. There's definitely not two lads. Somebody from Ballymun or somebody from.
That was them. Them two can't speak Spanish. It wasn't them. It couldn't have been them.
Not a fuck-
I mean, the guys were fluent.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
literally
And the
went up-
Macarena. Martin Steers can't do a fucking Macarena. There's no way Martin Steers can do it. I challenge Martin Steers to do a Macarena right now. Like,
No
that's-
way.
Not
he
a
can,
hope,
he
no.
can he can slightly do a moonwalk, and that's about it.
I had to ask either of them to point to Spain on a map.
Foxy, did
Point
you
anywhere,
know?
point
Did
to
you know
Mexico,
it was Fabio
anywhere.
Martin?
Wouldn't know.
I plead ignorance. Although, like, we talk about Lost Muppetors, but here is like another like, and it actually like it stopped me in my tracks when I found out, but this was Bittersweet Josh's first stadium show.
Yeah.
But not only was it his first stadium show, it was Big Bad Dirty Nicky.
What?
It was his first
Was it
ever
actually?
stadium show.
That's mad.
In
What?
all the years that he's been with OTT, he's never been on a stadium.
Oh my!
Wow.
He's been in a long time.
Jesus, you'd think he has, wouldn't you? Wow.
Yep.
He's been involved, Foxy, has he? He's
Nope.
definitely had to have been involved in matches, entrances, something like that.
No, never had a thing at the stadium.
Fuck.
It's mental.
Jeez.
Like, it was
Wow.
always a backstage segment,
Yeah.
never an
Yeah.
actual like on screen.
Oh, thrilled for him.
Madness. Like,
Wow.
he hasn't been included on the stadium.
He's definitely like to be fair, he's definitely one of the unsung heroes of Irish wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around a long time, and he does a lot for Irish wrestling. And in the likes of the skill and stuff that people don't see. So give him a bit of props now.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah,
Josh under his wing now. Like Josh.
yeah.
Yep.
And
Oh,
everything
he'll
he's done.
flourish, yeah.
He's been fucking smashing it alongside
Wow.
him.
That's amazing.
Doing
I
a
just-
gimmick that he's wanted to do for years, and he's having so much fun with, and you can see it.
Yeah.
And not only is he doing something he's wanted to do, but someone else gets the benefit from it
Mhm.
in Josh.
Yeah.
And his improvement just in the short time that he's been with Nikki it's been night and day. Like,
Yeah.
crazy, like just not the wealth of knowledge and the experience level that he has access to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you be in a great position there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a little tidbit here as well, and I don't do this too often, but and I hope he doesn't mind. But when they did their first Hard Knock show, I asked them what's the team names, because they were only after they did this new BDE. They were Sweet and Sour before
Sweet and
that,
Sour.
weren't they? So
Sweet
it's
and
like
sour.
what's the names? What do I call yous? Who are yous? Whatever. And I was speaking to Nicky, and he goes, "Just focus on Josh." He says don't worry about me, just focus on Josh. So if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about him, like, I don't know what would, because that's his priority has been Josh.
Yep.
So like that's the type of person he is, and like that tells me all I need to know about him. Like,
Was it
That's such
JB's
great
debut as well?
character, like.
JB he hasn't been. I think he's only. I don't even think he was with OTT or had an appearance on OTT before.
No.
At
So
the
this was
last
his
stadium,
first as
like,
well.
so this was his
So-
first time he's been.
So it was
in OTT.
BDEs, like the collective, their
Yep.
first,
Yeah.
and you all threw toilet paper at them, like
Yeah,
Yep.
they deserve it.
care with people. I also threw toilet
Listen,
paper.
JB came out wearing the GN Championship. Who the fuck do you think he is?
He hit me in the fucking head with that GN Championship.
Oh my
That was
god.
brilliant.
That was hilarious. You turned around, I was like, what's wrong with you? I got hit in the forehead with the fucking belt. I thought,
God.
It's a
geez.
terrible night for you,
Bashed in the
Jerry.
head with it.
I got a bad.
We had a bad night
a lot
for
of
you.
bumps
Yeah.
happening.
Got squished by Damo.
Oh my God.
Don't tell
Okay.
any. Don't tell Joe because I
Was
want
it Damo or was it Trent?
Demo.
No, it was Damien. It was
Car-
21
Carvin-
stone of man flying through the
Carvin
air.
threw him into me. He put it up on the story afterwards, and I was like, "Ah, fuck, two lads from Belfast just killed the lad from Donegal."
That's hilarious.
Troubles are back.
I think you got like worse than I did when Terry jumped out on top of me. You actually had like big, massive man like squish you.
Yep.
Oh man.
Liz was close enough to getting it. Her arm nearly got fucking.
Oh yeah, my foot was stuck and my arm went, and then the ones next to me wouldn't move, so I just caught him. I just shoved her and like, fuck this.
Sorry,
I was
Claire.
like, sorry, Claire. Not being hot, but I was like, I've got to go.
Deserves it.
Right.
You don't move, you get pushed.
This
Yeah,
is it. Like someone's
like-
getting speared here.
Like
Wait,
it
it was
baffles me that
Claire.
like even how with how many years that we've been doing shows, and especially big shows, that like there's still so many people that purposely sit on the front but don't know what is required of that as well.
Yeah.
Like
I've always
don't know
said I've
the etiquette.
always said that they should say it at the start of a show.
we used to. Well,
I know, but if somebody comes up to you, or three people who work with like OTT come up to you and say, move.
Move.
You know, you kind of like, right, there's definitely something going on. It's not a fire. Do you know that kind of
Yeah.
way? Then when you see Big Damo coming through the air and you're like, all right, I know what you mean. Move! You know, so.
I'm usually gone before anybody. The only one that caught me out, and it only ever caught me out once, was the Haskins one. You know
his
the one I'm talking about, is where he does the fake to the side.
Yeah.
So he goes to one side, does a fake, and then comes back and then goes like perpendicular to where he went.
Mm.
So I was wherever he was coming to the second time, and we got hit. Obviously, we didn't know what was going to happen. I've never been caught by that again. If you actually watch the stadium show, he went to our left, faked that way, then went away from us over towards Martin's side, did a dive out there, came back in, and then came over their side. As soon as he faked that way, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm already gone.
Yeah.
I think that is a learning curve, though. Eventually, like you learn. Like when it happened with me and Terry. The only reason Terry caught me was because it was so fast. Out came Scotty Davis. You're like, oh my god, yeah, and you die. Like you literally dive out of the way. I think eventually people kind of go like, I'm at that point now where like, all right, there's something's going to happen here, and you get up and move.
There's a level of expectation, isn't there? You're like, yeah, definitely. You're always on your guard, like that.
One of them. If anyone comes your way, just get the fuck. You know, like.
If I was in your position, though, Liz, I would grab Claire and just pull her into it.
I know, but I didn't want to, because Claire was like, oh, I'm a big fan, so I didn't want to use her as a human shield.
I would have.
What if it came to it? Be like, Claire, I'm sorry.
Claire,
And if she's listening, I would have done it.
I'd have been up on that stage if I was where you were. I wouldn't have even tried to go that way. I'd have just went behind me.
And my legs are too short. I would have never got up. I'd still be there stuck.
anything else that we want to talk about from the anniversary show before we go on to episode 2?
I want to give we're giving people flowers. There's one person I want to give flowers. So I was watching back the Trent and Moxley match, and Simon Hill was brilliant on commentary in that match. He called so many like really good things. I actually came with one thing regarding like Mox and how long it's taken. It went on my head, but like back to something Colin said earlier on, where people were constantly like on their feet because oh, we can sit down. Oh no, something's getting up. You know, one of the best things he said was, you know, for a seated area, it's standing room only right now when Moxley's in the ring. I thought, what a call! What a brilliant call!
Like
so I want to give him his flowers for calling that match because he had so many good calls.
Unreal, yeah. Great shout out.
Yeah, I'll have to listen back. So Simon's very good at what he does. And good to see Gio getting a run out as well. I haven't listened, so hopefully everything went well for El Gio.
You also had there was a lot of force during this weekend.
Yeah.
Wolverhampton was the first time all British opened.
All right. Okay.
Like no Irish for the intro, like introductions.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't even out there. It was all the British contingent.
And no Irish closed it either. If you
they took over.
Oh my God.
Speaking of firsts, we have to shout out our good friend Kane Noonan, who had his debut main roster. Are we calling it main roster?
Main roster
Main
debut,
roster
yeah.
debut.
He's had two contenders appearances, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and he fucking smashed it.
Oh yeah.
He smashed it. Like, I know that we've said for a long time, like we see him regularly on Hard Knocks, and he's had a few matches down there, and you can see the natural talent in him. But he knocked it out of the park. Like,
He had a big test as well in Robbie X.
Yeah, oh my God.
Like amazing to watch. Like it's always amazing to watch Robbie like perform.
Mhm.
But I mean, like I think we're all big fans of like Keane.
Yeah.
We do see him doing really big things like down the line. Like early on to be able to fucking just hang with one, as he says, the king of the cruiserweights.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like,
Ridiculous.
he didn't look out of place.
No.
Like, and you wouldn't have known there was any mistakes unless they told
Yeah.
yeah.
you. So like, Kane absolutely smashed it during that match. Absolute delight for him, and hopefully many more.
It was good to see that he tried a couple of new things in that match as well, which is it's always something that I'm looking for. And when I'm watching people that are getting to that level, because you want to see that improvement. And like I'm always looking for something that isn't just the same match that he had the last match that I seen them in, and it was good to see Keane actually tried a couple of new things and achieved a few new things as well. And props to Robbie. Robbie, the absolute professional, like, and like some of the stuff that he does, I don't even know how the fuck he does it. The fella defies gravity, like it's mental. But then the couple of little tidbits, we won't get into too much detail, but at the end, props to Foxy for just giving that helping hand as well. That people don't see that Foxy does as well. Just a little nod to the cameras that way, acknowledge that side of the ring, that kind of stuff, and it's great to have someone of your expertise and experience in the ring with them, not just for the stuff that's happening during the match, but before and after the match as well. So fair play.
Thank you.
Somebody, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the opener at the stadium show, the Robbie X was involved, and Lemo, was that his debut main roster match as well? I know he's had.
He's had main roster matches. I think this is his first solo stadium match.
Single stadium match.
Because
he was involved in your match last year, wasn't he? Yeah.
No,
that was the Social Elite versus
Social Elite versus.
Oh, sorry, that was Paddy's match, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, his main roster singles stadium debut.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a way to open the show as well.
Mm-hmm. He did absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The whole weekend he's again someone who's just leveling up. He's getting so much better. Like, and he looks phenomenal as well, doesn't he? Like, he has that great look about him. Like, so I'd like to see a bit more of him maybe on a mic, a couple of bits of promo. I think is just the only thing that I'd like to see a bit more of, something that might be missing in his game, but not that he can't do it, just he hasn't had the opportunity. So would like to see a bit more of that, because they were doing a few things when Paddy was around, and then since Paddy has left, that's kind of gone away. So I'd like to see that like promo stuff come back a bit more.
He's always on call, so
always active, bro. Always active.
It'll be interesting to witness what lies ahead for him as well, though. It's a very exciting time for him too, isn't it? So yeah, it would be nice to hear his promos and see how he moves forward.
I think it's an exciting time for Irish wrestling.
Oh my god,
talent that are through, that are got a massive future, whether it's in Ireland or the UK or Europe or beyond. There's so many people they look up to at the minute from the Irish wrestling scene that they can all aspire to be, or whoever else they are looking up to, and they want to be the next person or the first of whoever they are. So
just if you go back to last year on that, Jerry, just like we were looking at last year, obviously we had the few people that were missing, and then it was mainly an all Irish show, or all like Irish, and then our usual imports. there were some people maybe saying that like, oh well, like who are we gonna bring in? Like, is there enough people ready, and are people ready for that spot to be put into that?
It's a
We
great
did have a
group.
lot of newer trainees and stuff coming that had only kind of broken in and were ready for a big stadium show. Where to this year, we're like, there's just too many,
Yeah,
there's
spoils the choice.
people gonna be missing out, like, so a champagne problem for Joe, where he going forward, he's has too many wrestlers to fill the spot. So again, we're getting back there to where we were before, where there's too many people, and people are going to be disappointed when it comes to the stadium, because like, not that they're just not good enough, but there's just too much choice.
Yeah,
That is true. Yeah.
the end of the year wars is going to be a hard one this year. We may have to.
Oh my God.
We may have to add a new category and
Best referee,
young wrestler of
I
the
think,
year.
oh my God, best referee.
Best
Actually,
referee.
skitting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can think of one nomination.
Tom
Tom is very
Tom's
nice.
deadly. Yeah.
He's playing fantastic.
I love it. So yeah, I think that wraps up part one very nicely, doesn't it? So yeah, that was our part one of our 2-part special here on the Irish Wrestling Podcast. So make sure and stay tuned, because following this will be part 2, where we will be covering another few events, shall we, dear?
We'll be doing RCW's show in the PAV.
Yeah.
And ahead to Fight Factory's tournament. Colin, what is the Fight Factory tournament called? We'll get into that in the second episode.
The one with the tournament, it's friend teamed.
Yes.
Friends team, so it's the one with the tournament. I don't know if there's a different name that they're going to use, because it's 2 shows. It's going to be, there's a show in November and there's a show in December.
I think it's continuing with that.
So
like,
yeah,
I
I
think
presume
it's probably
it'll
like
do
part
the
1,
same.
part 2.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in the second episode. But as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, join us for the second episode, which will be coming up this week as well, just after we debut the show. But thanks again to Martin, Foxy, and Colin for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode, guys.